You want to know what a narcissist is afraid of? The narcissist is afraid of the narcissist. What I mean by that is a narcissist is afraid of you holding up the logical, rational, this is really who you are mirror. When you're healing trauma, you need consciousness to help you transform trauma. And that's what every narcissist is afraid of. A narcissist is banking on you disowning your reality. A narcissist is banking on exploiting your childhood wounds. My ex used to say, you're selfish, nobody likes you, your mother doesn't even like you, you have a problem with everybody in your family. That's why you have a problem with me. You can't get along with me because you couldn't even get along with your mother. So he took my very innocent wounds, the wounds that I shared with him, and he twisted them when I wanted to address something in our marriage. And I didn't see that as mean. I didn't see it as passive aggressive or just aggressive. I didn't even see it as narcissistic. I didn't see it as manipulative because I didn't have the knowledge about toxic relationship dynamics. I didn't know first that I was codependent. I didn't know that I was an ACOA. I didn't understand that I had ACOA issues, that I grew up with people who were essentially alcoholics, who had the need to control, who had their own childhood wounds that were gone unhealed. I didn't know that my mother was looking for my father's approval because her father was an alcoholic and she felt rejected by him and she wanted to be the perfect daughter. And she resented me and my needs because she wasn't allowed to have needs as a child. I didn't have this language. I didn't have this ability to understand. I didn't know how to connect the dots. Damn, I didn't even know there were dots. I really thought that my marriage was all about what was happening in the now. I had no idea that my childhood was being pushed out. I had no idea that my wounds were why I was tolerating what should have never been tolerated. I didn't know that I was adapting to very unhealthy relationship dynamics, just adapting. Oh, he doesn't like this about me? Well, let me change that about me. Oh, he has this need? Let me make sure I have that need. Oh, he's frustrated by my needs? All right, let me just busy myself with having another baby. Let me just become the head of security. Let me just continue to be a selfless person in my world, take on all of these responsibilities and have no personal needs. Let me not bother him. Let me make sure that he doesn't have to mow the grass. Let me make sure that he doesn't have to shovel. Let me make sure I have no needs. Maybe then I'll be good enough for him. That was my childhood being pushed out. That was me chasing my mother's approval, and I didn't know it. So a narcissist, this is where we get into trouble until we awaken, until we develop the mindset and the consciousness, until we understand that it's not us, it's our programming. And mark my word, dear one, a narcissist does not want you to awaken. A narcissist does not want you to get in touch with your spirit self. Your spirit self is tied to your emotional self. A narcissist does not want you to get in touch with your feelings. A narcissist wants you to be overwhelmed by your feelings. The narcissist does not want your logical, rational mind to come back online. They want you in the wounded space of the inner child. They want to be the authority that is abandoning you. They want you chasing after their approval. They want you to be afraid of them abandoning you. They do not want you to be galvanized. They do not want you to be able to speak your truth, to speak the truth. You want to know what a narcissist is afraid of? The narcissist is afraid of the narcissist. What I mean by that is a narcissist is afraid of you holding up the logical, rational, this is really who you are mirror. They're afraid of you telling the truth. So what do they have to do? To make sure that you never have the ability to speak the truth, they scramble your brain. They turn your mother against you. They create flying monkeys out of your children. They create dependencies upon your children, so your children easily reject you. And by the way, dear ones, if you have adult children who are being turned on you, check to see if your children are now gaining anything from the narcissistic parent. See if the narcissistic parent who was never involved in their life before suddenly offers them something, because that's when it's going to be easier for your children to reject you, when the narcissistic parent is offering them something. And we have to develop the wherewithal, we have to develop the truth, we have to understand there's going to be a period, a meanwhile experience where things are rocky. What I tell my private coaching clients is I want you to imagine there's two vortexes. Vortex A is, let's say 3. Vortex A is your childhood. Vortex B is the vortex that you've experienced or are now experiencing, which is your childhood pushed out. You had an alcoholic, narcissistic father who emotionally neglected you, left your family, or you have a narcissistic mother who was more involved with men than she was her own children, and you felt ignored and abandoned. You had siblings to take care of. This is very ACOA issue. In other words, like if you're an adult child of an alcoholic, these are the types of things that you had to tolerate and you had to put up with as a child. You had no childhood. You weren't allowed to say, I think, I feel, I need, I want. Not allowed. You weren't allowed to have those experiences because your home was so unpredictable. What your brain did was you sugarcoated the experience just to survive. And unfortunately, it depends on how you look at it. I come along, or someone like me comes along, and we rip the Band-Aid off and we say, dear one, you have to see things clearly. Otherwise, you're not going to understand why and how this person continues to take advantage of you. Because if you use the same set of thought processes that got you through your childhood in this relationship, this narcissist is going to win. Eventually, you'll become so scrambled in your mind, you won't have any cognitive abilities to say, I think, I feel, I know, I witness, this is the truth. You won't be able to do it. I watched it happen in my own life. My mother slowly began to cognitively decline. She had dementia. She had a stroke after a major, major blowout with my father. I was on the phone with him when he was treating my mother like dog crap on his shoe. I was on the phone with him. A few hours later, she had a major stroke. Mom was never the same. So I am the adult child of 2 adult children. I am the daughter of a mother who went through this. I can tell you this is serious. A narcissist is 20 steps ahead of you. They know how to scramble your brain. They know how to make flying monkeys out of your mother, out of your father, out of your coworkers. They have to, because ultimately they're afraid, because you, dear one, you know the truth. You were their partner. You slept with them. You listened to them every day at the breakfast table. You were the one that they prevented from leaving the house because you were watching what was happening and you wanted to leave. You were the one that they blocked the doorway from. You were the one that they lied to. You were the one that they had the double life with. You were the one that's tolerated all of this nonsense. So you, dear one, are the gatekeeper. You are the one that holds the keys to the false self. You are the one that they are most afraid of. So they will scramble your brain so that you never learn to speak your truth. Now, I also have clients, and I always caution them, do not confront a narcissist until, maybe never, but do not tell a narcissist you're waking up. Because remember, a narcissist can fight these spiritual and emotional wars like nobody can. They are dragons. They are fire-breathing dragons. They are willing to blow their flame on anything, on everything, and anyone that stands in the way of their false mask. The last thing that a narcissist wants is for you to find the ability to stand tall, to stand erect, and say, I know, I think, and I feel, and I've witnessed. And no matter what you say, and no matter what you tell our kids, and no matter what you say to my mother, and no matter what you say to those flying monkeys, I know the truth. You and the truth, who the narcissist really is their nemesis. So that is why they must spiritually destroy you. That is why they have to break you down. That is why they have to make you sick. That is why they want you begging for their approval. That is why they'll blame you for everything that goes wrong in their life, everything that goes wrong in your family life, so that you are so distraught under the weight of loss, under the weight of responsibility, under the weight of obligation, under the weight of feeling like, oh my God, this is all my fault, under the weight of all of the wounds of the inner child. You want to escape? Start connecting the dots. You want to understand what's really going on? Let the narcissist feel whatever they want to feel. Let them say whatever they want to say. Stop trying to change. Stop trying to change what they think. Stop trying to change what they feel. Just stop. Just stop. Accept how you feel. Get away from them. Go no contact. Your healing starts when you stop engaging with someone who's taking out an egg beater and cutting off the top of your head and scrambling your brain. That's when your healing stops. It's not going to happen right away. But at least then this nonsense stops.